modifying it. And Peyton has a Jestedis issue that's mid-flight, which we're gonna hop in. So yeah, take it away, Peyton.
All right, shall do. That's my email, but let me swing the code over.
Nice.
All right, I'll just tab back and forth through this. I don't use the integrated terminal. Okay, so I've got the first 2 tests done. So now I'm on should close the dropdown. This is part of the pipelines. It's the stage component. So far I've moved, I've brought in view test utils and renamed the component, and I've brought in wait for promises. I'm not 100% sure if we need it, but kind of what I've been looking at with the component as of right now is there's an on-click stage method that's being invoked that is using Event Hub, and it's also doing some asynchronous operations, fetching jobs. So all right, so we'll get down to this. Okay, should close the dropdown. It seems that the main component is just the actual component that we're triggering a click on, and then there's this setTimeout. I haven't done the code mod to do all the setImmediate, but I'm not sure we actually need this. This needs to be refactored for sure. So it looks like it's looking for an open class or class to equal open. So maybe we could do something like not.
There's a classes method.
Okay.
That view test utils exposes.
Okay. What is that? What does that return?
It returns true or false if whatever you pass to it is a class or not. So classes, and then whatever you pass to it. So I guess we want to do open.
Okay. Yep. So expect classes open to be false.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting difference between the attributes way and this way is attributes way is going to look for, like, I could even have. Okay. Oh, was our wrapper not even being created?
Yeah, it looks like that. So maybe it's something weird with this set
timeout.
Oh
no! Check this out. Yeah, so this is this test was returning before and we were nullifying the wrapper. We were doing our after each. We don't have any done callback here or anything like that happening. So we were nullifying it after we tried to do the expectation because we're creating this race condition. We need to make sure we have a done callback, or ideally we return a promise.
Okay, so maybe
do we wait for promises sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I brought in. Okay, so maybe we do something like this.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That sound good?
Sounds really good.
Okay. Let's see. See what we're looking like. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, next one. Update endpoint correctly. Yeah. What is going on here? Okay, so it looks like, okay, they're updating the props.
I think looking at line 104, this might be the same thing.
Yeah. This will have to change because I've changed component already. So I've kind of created a create component helper method.
Mm-hmm.
And using default props this way. If y'all have any suggestions on cleaning that up, I'm all open for that, or everyone's good with that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, then for this one. So how do we want to update this state? Do we want to do a... It looks like...
When do we actually create the component?
In the before each?
Yeah. So I would almost... 95% of the time suggest not doing at the top level before each, because you're always going to want to pass different props to it when you're doing a test. So it's really helpful. I would suggest not doing set props at all. If you're doing that, something needs to probably be reorganized in your spec. So what I like to do is create another. If I can't think of a good name for it, I'll just create a second level describe called default, and then there in the before each I do my create component. But then if I have another states that I expect my component to be in, I'll create another describe of being like, oh, with this prop or whatever, and then I'll pass my create component.
What do you think about? So what if you have a top level before each that creates the component, but then you like write it over, like, so you don't have to have too many create component calls? What if you have a top level before each create component, and then like you override it, like, and for instance,
Yeah,
like block?
this is a really, really good question. I think you should only call create component once per spec, because create component can actually have side effects. And if I'm doing an expectation like, oh, I expect this thing to have been called, it may have been called because, and like that dispatch order may have been called by an earlier create component. But then when I, destroyed it and created some more or whatever, there's some non-determinism to what's happening here when you call create component more than once per spec. And I think you actually find that you end up with not too deeply nested specs, and you're not doing it too much.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, we have a little bit of refactoring to do here then, because let's see. All right, let's go ahead and take this. Oops.
Well, what do you think? What do you think, Vitaly? Does this?
Well, it depends on the situation, actually, because, for example, I recently encountered a situation when I was migrating IDE to Jest, some specs, and it uses set interval inside of it, and I had a lot of troubles with it. So I had to call create component twice in spec.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point, is that sometimes it's going to have to happen. Like,
yeah,
there's a trade-off here, but this is
I think we can get around it here.
Yeah, let's try it out.
I say we maybe move this into its own describe block since it's top level. Does that sound okay?
That's a good idea.
Okay, what should we name it? That's the question.
I don't like to spend too much time thinking about naming these things, so for this one, I call it default. I don't even
default.
I call it default. If it's I'm not passing anything in, yeah.
Let me just paste this here for now. I know that's not going to do anything, but so I can get off my clipboard. Before each, or maybe just throw it right in the
before each is a good idea.
Okay. Sorry if my keyboard's super clickety clackety.
No, it's good. It sounds like work is getting done.
Okay. Should render the dropdown with status icon. Okay, that's good. But now we'll have to create the component in this for each.
So I would drop that in as well if you want to. Just line 55. I would just move it all into that with default. If you want to do it like this, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
But I think this is really up to whatever makes the most sense for you. So.
All right, let's stick it. Let's stay with this for now.
Okay.
All right, good. Should close drop down. I lost my spot. Okay. Let's just do another one. Okay, now we're back. God, keeps scrolling all the way down. Okay, so this one right here, this is gonna be a fun one. So we need to create the component what looks like with new prop data. Wouldn't you agree? Success, success.
Yeah.
So
it looks like just that line 99 on.
Yeah, maybe pass that in for props data.
Yep.
Okay.
But it looks like it's all nested under a stage prop.
Yeah, so I might just, what do you think about just overwriting the entire props? So right now I have it set up with default props. Maybe pass in like all the data for props data, or I mean that might, I mean, because update drop down is still going to stay false though. It seems.
I see what you're saying. We want to keep that prop.
Yeah.
I would organize it this way.
Okay.
I would have props equal to an empty object, but then have props data. We always pass in the default props, but then spread both the default props and our props.
Nice. So probably something like
Yeah.
default props and then spread props.
Yep.
Ooh, clean. I like it. Don't forget your commas.
Yeah, and I think you have a missing L. You have a default props.
I do.
Nice.
Okay. So that will always still pass out. So everything probably still should pass, correct? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and you could get really fancy with it. I think just whatever makes the test more readable. You could do like a low dash merge too, if you feel like that is helpful. But that may add a little bit more magic to what's happening as well. So I've seen it both ways.
Okay, that's something good to keep in mind. And I'm guessing that merges objects together, low dash merge.
Yeah. So if I wanted to just test, like I didn't care about updating the whole stage, I just wanted to test when this one part of the stage changes or whatever, like doing a merge could be a little bit more helpful to read, but it does add more magic to what's happening. Because if I'm looking at the test, I'll be like, oh, well, this isn't a full stage prop. How is this working? And then I'll have to realize, oh, we're merging.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, so in that case, we can come down here and probably, okay, so it looks like it's only one time states getting, or props are getting updated. So let's pass in, so it should be the first prop, I'm guessing, after that refactor. We only have to pass in this, is that correct?
We'll just pass in, I think it's still gonna be under a stage, I think.
Oh, okay. So I'll need to say stage like this.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then probably pass in this object. Trying to figure out how this thing's structured.
Cool.
I should do it, maybe.
I see we're doing this thing copy stage. I'm not sure what.
Copy stage, where you see that up?
Like a 95. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay, then let's leave it alone.
Okay, yeah. So we'll need to refactor this. And we probably want to do best practices, right? So maybe,
That's a great idea.
Maybe do this. And then call a dot then. And I'm probably missing something, or no, I'm not.
The done needs to go away.
Yes, it does.
And then set timeout. Instead of set timeout, I guess we want to do
wait for promises. Yeah.
So you could do some promise chaining here, or we could do it all in the same.
Yeah, maybe we could return wait for promises here and then do a next then.
I think that's a good idea. I like that.
Okay. Something like that, maybe. Do we need to invoke it or not?
You do invoke it. Yep.
Okay, you do invoke it. Okay. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, I like chained functions.
Ooh. Clean. Okay. All right, last one. And honestly, I don't know if we should spend any time thinking about that or just knock this one out and get on to another one, or
let's just keep plowing forward. We have 300 of these, and I was hoping we can get 50% of the way today. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, so we got an on get, there's mocking, replying, and an on post. Interesting. Looks like we want to spy on this. Whoa, is that props passed in or type? No type. What is this? Type. Oh, okay. So that's weird.
That is a prop.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna find a button.
I think we're down a bit.
Yeah,
more.
we're down. I keep my eyes are getting old. Okay.
So we actually haven't created it yet.
Yeah, we haven't, but I'm curious on how should we just pass in that instead, probably?
I think that makes sense. Yep, we're gonna pass in the type prop.
Type prop with,
and it's gonna be an object. So
it is. So just an object with type string.
Yep, and it's pipelines table.
Okay. Probably get rid of that. Yeah, actually that refactor with create component makes that a lot easier to, I need to start doing that.
So yeah, so to abstract it a little bit, and that top level before each, I love creating my quote unquote collaborators. I'll create my store, I'll set up my mocks in that top level before each, whatever I need to do there. But the subject under test, that's gonna be different on each spec. And so it's good to not do that at the top level before each. I think you'll find that your tests are become a lot cleaner. But these are just ideas. I think there's so much that can go on that can really sway.
For sure. All right, so we need to trigger. I believe that's the right syntax, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to get rid of this set timeout most likely. Do we have any more dones in here? Just curious. Oh yeah, we do.
But it looks like did we lose it in the it, or is the it cut off? I can't see the last part of the it.
I don't know. I don't know where that done is. Is that just a random done?
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
okay.
There it is. All right, so maybe we do another wait for promises here.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay.
This is probably, highlighting something we could add to our code mod. Instead of replacing all set timeouts with setImmediates, which I think kind of would work, but maybe instead of replacing it with that, we could, in a more fancy way, make sure wait for promises imported and replace set timeouts with wait for promises.
Yeah, for sure. Because this spec here that I redid that was like super big. It was like 1,000 lines, but everything was like set timeout everywhere. So it did setImmediate, but I was having issues with setImmediate, so I brought in wait for promises, and everything started moving a little better. So
yeah, I think.
Yeah, personally, I don't like using a setImmediate because it's like an ad hoc solution because it tells your environment to execute everything right after event loop finished. So it's like
It is, yeah. It's not good. It's our quick fix to moving some of these things, but it's not a good fix for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so the top level set timeout, I've moved that to wait for promises, and now there's another set timeout. Maybe is that some type of an asynchronous operation after this click?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So I would do the chaining thing again.
Okay. Well, should we return the next tick here? It looks like.
That's an interesting idea. So it looks like it wants to return wait. I think we could probably get away with just doing a wait for promises.
So just chain another then on this right here. Like don't return anything inside of this first then.
I would return the wait for promises inside of here. And this is something you'll see in tests, or like I'm triggering something asynchronous. I'm going to return my ticker thing. And then I'm doing another asynchronous thing. I return my ticker thing. And then my next expectation doesn't have to worry, or my next chain doesn't have to worry about waiting for anything. And then I think you can get away with just the expect. I don't think the next tick will be.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. And then do we need any of this catch or no?
No, that was only needed.
No, we don't need.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was only needed because we couldn't return promises before, but now we can.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, that was a quick one. Does anyone, I don't know if you want to watch me open an MR, but if anyone has anything else to work on, we could.
Yeah, no, that rocks. If you want to probably commit it, and then we could probably pick up another one. It looks like you can get rid of lead component on line 11 too.
Oh. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can go ahead and stop sharing. Let's see, where is the stop share? Okay, cool. Well, thanks everyone for the help on that one.
Yeah, that was cool. Does anyone have any other cool suggestions? All right, I have a cool suggestion. I've been working on the IDE folder, and it sounds like Vitaly, you'd also taken a look at that as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of the bigger ones. But maybe we could keep working on that one. Does that sound all right?
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Does anybody want to drive?
I can.
Cool, that rocks.
Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, just need to prepare everything.
Yeah, no, you're good. So last time, what we did, we moved everything from the JavaScript's IDE Karma directory over to a IDE new directory in Jest, in the front end folder, the Jest spec folder. And that was helpful because we couldn't figure out how to merge directories. And then when something did pass, we just copied it over to our IDE front end directory. So that approach worked for us. I don't know if we want to start that way, of just moving everything over and see what works and see what doesn't work.
Yeah, that's an easy start. Just copy everything you have.
Yeah, but we called it because we have. Does that work for if we have existing stuff in IDE?
Well, it overrides it, but usually it's some Mongo data, as far as I remember. Yeah, it is. Helpers and Mongo data.
Oh, cool. So it didn't override anything.
No, it overrides.
That rocks. For some reason, this was not working for us earlier. That's great. Okay.
So let's just restore both files.
Yeah, that's a
Mongo
good
data and helpers, and let's see if it works.
Okay. Oh man.
Oops.
So chances are it's going to break, and we're either going to be fixing component tests or Vuex store tests. Which one sounds more interesting to you all?
Yeah, let's see what
Vuex
exactly
sounds
breaks.
interesting to me.
Okay. I'd like to see us fix the store tests too, because we have some weird spyOnDependency stuff that does it. Oh, we should probably run our code mod thing.
Yeah.
Because then everything is for sure gonna break. Do you happen to have the code mod checked out?
I think I need to update it.
Okay, it's look at all those things that pass.
Well,
That's crazy. Good Lord, this directory has a ton of tests.
You would think it doesn't have any bugs then, but I can
For
assure
real?
you that's not the case. I guess one downside too, if it's possible that this now touches some pre-existing tests, but it looks like there's a whole bunch that was unmodified, so we're probably okay. Okay.
Oh. Well, I think 5 tests are passing now.
It looks like more tests have failed.
Well, that's expected.
Yeah.
So let's see what we have.
I don't think it ran after the codemod did its thing, because I'm seeing some stuff that the codemod maybe should have picked up on.
Well, it reported 84 files unmodified.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to.
Okay. Can we narrow in our run a little bit? Could we maybe run it on maybe just the stores directory?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. Okay. So let's do it. Action spec seems to be funky. This merge request action spec.
Yeah. So let's just open it, see what we have. So we don't need components, we need stores.
Oh, this is the JavaScript folder, I think.
No, this is, oh yeah, it is. Oops. Yeah.
All right. Oh yes, the spyOnDependency stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have you all done a migration for spyOnDependency?
I have not.
So the way this module works in Karma is a little interesting. You pass it the default export of the module you want to spy something about. So here we're testing our actions. We want to spy something about the actions. But then the second parameter is the name of the module that we're importing that we want to spy on. To translate this to Jest, we need to go to the actions module, find what we're importing is called visit URL, and then mock that module path. So if you open up the IDE stores actions, you'll see something that's being imported called visit URL. We want to take that path and mock it, and then we can get rid of this.
Yeah, because during migration, you can notice a lot of spyOnDependency stuff, which invokes create flash messages, and that's pretty usual stuff what we need to mock. So we are going to actions. Where we have it? Oh, here.
Oh gosh. Oh wait, this isn't the right. This is in a different place. This is, I think, an EE. Yeah, it is.
So we're looking for visit URL.
Yeah, visit URL usually spyOnDependency.
I don't think it has an index. I think it's actually just stores actions. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to mock this one.
Yep.
From this model.
Yep.
So, and basic stuff is just to, Okay, so I lost my file.
Okay. So we're going to globally mock that, like just.mock and then the path. Okay.
I think that's the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
It could get a little hairy if we only wanted to mock visit URL, but there's some sort of utility other function we're importing that we don't want to mock. Like that could make our mock a little more interesting. But it looks like in this case we're fine. So whatever is simplest.
So, and now when we are spying on dependency, we don't need with one.
Mm-hmm.
So we are safe to remove it. And we are calling now this mocked function that we imported from URL utility.
Yeah.
Do we actually need to import that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Jest will mock everything that we want or that we will import from URL utility.
Okay.
So basically, if you can just do console log on it, it will print a Jest mock or a Jest FN function.
Cool.
If we didn't need to do some like asserting whether it was called or not, we wouldn't need to import it. But since we're using it in line 44,
I see that now.
Yeah.
Okay. And that'll be the actual mock then. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Jest mocking is really nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's see if we have.
It works now.
URL.
Everything's passing.
This might be it for this file.
I think we need to narrow to just this file.
Yeah, maybe we want to. That's the thing. I wish there was a nicer way to like see just the files that failed and passed.
Well,
you do, little girl. I'll see you later.
I know that JS Runner has an F shortcut to run just fail tests.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I know.
Do you know if action spec is good or not? Did you see if it passed or failed?
Cool.
I think I missed it.
That's running a very long time.
Oh no, it's because there's some. Oh yeah, this will happen too. So wait, did action spec pass or fail? Are we finished with that one?
Let's run just the action spec file and we will see. Here we go. No, it doesn't work.
Oh gosh, what is this? Actions should be, but actions that redirect to URL. Oh, this one is interesting.
Yeah.
Never seen this.
Oh, we don't need it just.
I don't know what's going on.
I think we were passing something to create store. I was expecting that.
Is that the only place that we're doing this?
Well, I think we need to check what happens inside of our store file for the ID. Because I'm not sure.
I wonder. Is it?
There's some weird stuff with this redirect to URL thing that we're about to uncover, and I'm so excited that we're gonna fix it. Because this has been a blocker for
actions. So we're going from actions. And do we have here redirect? Yeah. Oh, so we're importing visit URL.
Yeah.
So I think we need to,
But
if I read it
why would it
correctly,
say that
we
it's
need to.
undefined? Do we reference this anywhere else?
I don't think so. No, this is the only place.
Hmm.
So it expects function.
Can we do a search on all of the?
Oh, I remember. I think I know what happens. It happens because Jest actually does it hoists the all mock imports to the top of its file.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at that time when we are actually trying to create import to create store, I think that visit URL is undefined.
So visit URL might, even if visit URL is undefined, redirect to URL should still be a function. And that's what's weird. If you go to the error, and this Vuex error is saying, hey, you're trying to create a store that doesn't actually have an action for this name. It's the handler redirect to URL is undefined, but it's clearly a function. So, and it's blowing up not when we try to dispatch that action or anything, it's blowing up at when we try to create the store. So I think that there's some other, and there's just knowing this code base, I think that there's some other instances of redirect to URL that are might be overwriting this actually. Can we do a search on all of the stores directory for redirect to URL and any other references to it? All right, there's one there, and then what's this one? That's the only one? Gosh. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with this store? What's that other reference that's popping up? It shouldn't make a difference, but maybe it's blowing up because at this module it's not a thing. Or no.
I'm curious if we're even like passing it to the store. Are we importing? It looks like we're not importing all actions in this action spec. This could be a silly question, but at the top,
I think we can also try to examine the stack trace actually here. So we're calling stores actions router. Okay.
There's the router, the third JS file there.
Oh, yeah. So what happens next? Line 5. Oh, yeah. It's a cross-reference import.
You think that might be the...
Okay, so when we go back to source on line...
Oh, go... something just popped up to me if you look back at the stack trace. It's doing with the module. So if you go back...
Go back to your ID router.
Do the terminal on the stack trace. Yeah, we need to fix that circular reference for sure. But if you go to it saying there's a module that we're registering, so
yeah,
it might not be with. This is what I was thinking, that it might be another file that's like trying to overwrite something, but it looks like. Oh gosh, I don't even know. We could try commenting out some of those modules and see to narrow down which one might be causing that issue. And maybe we should see if we go to our store index, where we create the store, we can comment out the modules and see if it works, or remove the modules.
I don't think it worked.
That didn't even do anything. Well, I'm disappointed.
Okay. So we can create store when we call actions, which we import from actions. Actions line 11, we import router from ID router. When we import back, why do we need store here? Oh, before each.
Could we try commenting out our router import from actions? And we can comment that out. Yeah.
This is really deeply nested.
No, it still fails.
Okay.
Just to confirm.
I would maybe even let's to get some more visibility on it. Maybe we want to add a console log to that actions and just see what are we actually passing down to it on the index, the store index, right next to where it's failing. I console log debug like 99% of the time. I know there's got to be a better way to debug, but
That's how I code as well.
So we have all actions undefined.
What?
That's a problem.
No, that's helpful. This helps.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they would all be undefined.
Create them.
That was enlightening. Import star as actions from actions. If you go, what are we do some weird stuff with these files. If you go to actions, what's at the bottom of it? Do we do something like, can we get rid of that export default?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. We're still undefined.
No, it's actually the old console log. Oh, no, it's the same.
Okay.
Still undefined.
This is this is a weird one. Maybe our spec is doing something.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should maybe import the actions the same way as we do.
So we have create store here. So I mean, if I will just remove that mock, will it work? No.
This is a weird one.
So we have create store here. We can create store.
Are getters all null too, or undefined? Can we console log our getters and see, are they also undefined?
No, why not?
This feels like something that's like with spec here. on.
Yeah.
Just don't know where.
Defined and defined.
So I'm all for, even if we wanted to start removing stuff in our spec, just trying to narrow down what's the line that's causing this.
Yeah. Earlier, the import for the actions, remember there was some kind of weird syntax you removed? It was like import actions, comma, and then like,
Yeah.
I wonder if something's going on there. Does
So
anybody
what that was needed was for the spyOnDependency thing, for whatever reason, has to work on the default export. Could there be like a Jest cache issue? Like maybe we need to like stop watching and remove some cache stuff. I don't know.
I'm going to say no, but you never know.
Certainly it's not our code. It's the tests that's causing problems. We shouldn't be importing router anymore, right? Did we comment that out?
So importing stuff. Default create. So let's try just some crazy idea and see what will happen. Still undefined.
We got to see. I got to see if there's some other references to this or something.
Oh, it's actually stores.
I can't wait till we solve this problem.
Wait.
Okay.
Can we do something wild and like just remove all of our actions except for one, like just trying to narrow down to what's the line that's causing this? Like what if we remove everything but set initial data? Is it still null?
It's still undefined.
So it's probably not our actions file, unless it's something we're importing from there. Like maybe we want to remove all of our imports too or something. Sorry, I'm not being really scientific about this. I'm 90% certain we do create store in other specs and our. Oh, we don't. Oh wait. I'm pretty sure we do some in our like component specs. Yes. So yeah, in some of our other component specs, we do create store and it works. Something weird is happening here. I think maybe we need to start,
it makes sense.
we might need to start tinkering around with the spec file, because on our other spec files, we're able to create store and there's no problem.
Well, it looks pretty usual.
Is there any other? But maybe somewhere like we accidentally are actually like globally up changing something. I don't know.
I think it fails right on this line, from what I see.
But we could have a line that's not in a before each or describe callback, or that's not in like a before each or an it that's causing some problems. I don't know. I haven't dived into it, but
yeah, I'm trying to look at the spec as well as well. We're scrolling back and forth.
So we call stores actions.
and what happens if we console log one of these actions? Are they undefined here?
Yeah.
Is it?
I actually, yeah, I don't see it here.
Redirect to
Right.
URL. No, is that? Oh, wait. I was looking at the wrong log.
Oh, well, it might be undefined here because we have everything commented out and our actions.
That'll do it. We'll probably get rid of that index.js console log too to kind of clean it up for the getters.
Still don't see it.
So that's interesting. Why is it not hitting that console log? Are we creating the store? Wait.
I think we are even not getting here.
Oh, wait. Oh, I think I know what might be going on. If you go to index.js of the store, it might somewhere we might have a reference to the default store on line 38.
There is one?
Yeah.
We actually have it. I remember we have it in IDE router.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. I don't know if we have it anywhere else. That might be problematic for sure. I have an idea for a quick fix for that, but just to test if that is the issue or not, could we comment out our reference to store from ID router? Yeah, because we only reference it inside these functions, and it should be fine.
Well, we have another error.
That was weird.
Store actions.
Join path should be a function. It's not. If you scroll up to our imports, are we importing it?
Yeah, so.
Oh, yes. But we mocked our whole URL utility.
Yeah.
What? Okay, I'm pretty sure you could do this. You can get the actual stuff from our URL utility. So we can get like, I think you get the actual export as a parameter to that callback function, and then we can return that actual export except for visit URL. Which
Yeah. What we need.
I think we get it as, I think we can do like, I think we can call it utility as the parameter there, or whatever we want to call it. I like using single character variable names, but most people don't like that.
So what we need to mock visit URL.
So you would do return, Yeah, you would return an object of visit URL jest fn, but then everything else we would spread. And we get that, I think, from the parameter. I'm 70% certain it works like this. It might not. Yeah. Yeah, and then we want to get the URL utility in there, but then we also have to wrap in and our curlies and parentheses, otherwise
Yeah.
function thing. Yeah. It's still not happy.
Almost. Let's actually see if we can do something like what actually have in URL utility.
Let me see.
So I think we can do something like. And
that's
then
interesting.
just. Yeah.
I've done this before, so I'm gonna do a quick search to see if I can find an example of it. If we do just mock, and then do everything up to the comma, and then
yeah, we can just spy on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see we use spy on URL utility, get location hash.
Yeah, maybe that's it then. Maybe that's all we gotta do. Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like that's all we gotta do. Yeah, forget my other idea. I think you might have to do the star as though.
Yeah, because we need an object utility and spy on it. Oops.
Visit URL, it looks like is the one. Yeah, and we can capture the it works. So why did it, that was so bizarre. But that makes sense. Okay. So all of those actions were undefined because none of that code was able to execute because we weren't able to import the store. All of it the same. Yeah, the circular reference thing is not great. And I think that there's a quick solution to it. If you want to fix the circular reference thing, or if we want to, we're already at 10 a.m. or on my time, so we've already been at this for an hour. But what I was going to suggest was, rather than exporting a real router from IDE router, what if we exported I guess you can't do it because we reference router from store. I was going to say, what if we export a factory function that takes in store? But store has a reference to this. We need to fix that. And that's something I'm going to probably do soon because that's problematic. But I'm glad we were able to debug it. And the issue was
So I came in at the tail end. Was it we weren't spying on it correctly, or was this something actually in the code base?
Yeah, we were just actually mocking the whole module. And when we tried to import any action from here or register from here, we tried to instantiate the Vuex store, but actions are undefined at that moment, and it failed to create it. I wonder if we can just do it in another way, that I described in an epic recently. but do not call new Vuex store here. I just prepare for the initial structure and call it right here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not here, in entry file.
Having exporting store options, that's a good idea. I'm a huge fan of exporting store options versus the actual built store. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, just to illustrate solution. Let me just try to find it. Yeah.
Ooh, Git Tower.
So here we had it new big store before with a view, use views and all other stuff. And what I did, I just created the basic structure for a Vuex store and called it later.
I am a huge fan of that because it also gets rid of the whole singleton store thing. Yeah, I think that is a really good idea. We do, if you do a search for store options, you'll see that we do some of the like create store options versus just create store, but we haven't gone. We still
Okay.
keep a singleton reference though of the store thing, which I'd love to see us not have, because that makes all the tests wonky. Because here in my test, I'm creating a new store, but over in my router land, I'm referencing the singleton store. Like,
Yeah.
it's a mess. So this
It
is
sounds like
changing a
something
lot.
we could add to the docs as well for a pattern.
Yeah, I think this is a good. I think this is a good idea. It'll be tough to fully migrate over to here, but I think we should at least, what you said, Peyton, is upgrade our docs as this is the now proposed standard, and we're still working on migrating other stuff because we have so much coupling to that singleton stuff. And as you see here, we have circular references happening to the singleton stuff.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Go ahead.
I've recently used the create store actually in some CI tests, that the method or the pattern that's usually everywhere right now, honestly.
What's really cool with specs, yeah, if someone wants to, and so I asked this a month ago too, if we see something outdated in our docs, let's just remove it and add an issue saying, hey, we're gonna solidify it in this follow-up issue. Because I think our docs don't get updated enough because we're not quite certain what the path forward is. But if we know this isn't the path forward, we should just remove it because that causes so much confusion. A huge benefit to this create store options versus creating the store is in my spec, rather than doing this like spy on dispatch, I can actually just overwrite a spy. Like I can just replace this action with a spy. And I love doing that where I'm doing a real store, but I just have a spy action implementation or whatever. And that's pretty. Yeah, this is a good call. I think this is an offending pattern that's caused the issue. Definitely the circular reference thing caused a huge issue. And what was related to is that we were mocking all of URL utility versus just the one function we needed. And that's another thing to keep in mind when we do this Jest mock, is it's going to mock it for any file that imports it. And for these utility folders, yeah, that's a dangerous thing to do. This was informative, even though we didn't necessarily have a merge request out of it.
Yeah. So Vitaly, just curious. So with that, like the proposed way of like exporting the store, creating the store, for testing particular actions that are dispatched, how does that work with the new proposal?
Well, you just need to create your local store in a spec file. I didn't examine the action spec or mutation spec yet, but I think it should be pretty straightforward.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was curious on, is like right here with this diff, if there was a example of testing that.
Here's yeah, so here's something that I've oh yeah, here's one that it looks like we have another contributor for it. Because he asked a good question. Can I share my screen real fast, Vili?
Yeah, sure.
We've done this. We have this pattern in a few places in our code. So doing a search for create store options.
Okay.
This is what's cool about it, is it lets me overwrite these options before I just create the store. So over here,
Ooh.
we can just create a spy for the put rule action, as opposed to putting a spy on all of dispatch.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's some patterns for this. There's some trade-offs to it. Like someone may say, like, you know, oh, well, maybe you know too much about your store. I don't know, but I like the view test, or not the view test utils, maybe view test utils. Maybe it's Vuex, but they kind of propose handling it this way by creating some spy actions that your components may be looking for or something. It's just a different approach. You might find it works better or not, but if you do a search for create store options, you'll see a few other instances and tests how this is helpful. But what I love now is, yeah, maybe we should just always do this, and it breaks our singleton coupling, which is a really good idea, because that's scary thing we do in our tests is I create a new store in our tests, but over in some other land, I have a module that's referencing a singleton store. That's scary. That's something.
Yeah, and the problem is also that it doesn't matter if you are trying to create a local view, because it always copies everything from a global view.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Well, cool. This is super informative and helpful. Thanks for hopping on, Fiddly and Peyton. I'm glad that we also got to have some success with your Justice issue at the beginning.
Yeah. I'll ping both of you in that MR. I've already got it open.
Sweet. Thanks. Yeah, if you could send it to me too, and I'll put it on our YouTube description. All right.
Okay.
Well, you all have a great rest of the day. Have a good one. See you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.